In this video, I will show you how to wrap Bengkung Belly Binding wrap. So this is our SageAbay Lila, which is made of organic cotton and linen fabric, which I love it and I recommend it. Now, when I gave birth to my son, which was like 9 pounds big in size, nurses thought that I had a twin because my abdominal muscles were separated like for 4 or 5 fingers big in size. And you know, my fingers are so big and I could feel that. But at that time, I never knew that it was something called diastasis recti. Postpartum, I started getting so much pain in my lower back bones. I was a person who's doing Ashtanga yoga and powerful Ashtanga yoga poses and running so often. I never faced that issue. But this time, after giving birth to such a big kid, I ended up having abdominal separation. Initially, I searched on YouTube what to do for your diastasis recti, postpartum belly wraps. Then I saw a video of Bengkung Belly Binding tutorial and it looked like so confusing to me. Then I said, okay, I'm gonna go with Velcro because wrapping Bengkung Belly Binding wrap is like something really complicated. But after using Velcro belly bands, I was not so much satisfied with the results I got. Then I decided to go with Bengkung Belly Binding wrap. People call it like Malaysian, but actually Bengkung Belly Binding wrap has in many traditions in Africa, in India, or in my country, in Central Asia. So many traditions have this practice which we have forgotten. Now this is time tested. To bring back your abdominal muscles together, your six-pack muscles together, you need something which is not stretchy, like this kind of strong linen cotton or cotton muslin people use because it's the cheapest fabric, or we have even silk Bengkung Belly Binding wraps. Before starting this, I highly recommend you to approach your doctor and ask if it is okay for you to belly bind, because I'm not a healthcare professional, I'm not a doctor, so this video is only for the informational purposes. It's better to do it on a bare skin. Now in the video, I'm not gonna do that. That's why I wore my dress, which I like, so loose and so good. When you start Bengkung Belly Binding wrap, make sure you start it on top of your tailbone, a little bit lower than your tailbone, because if you do it lower than your tailbone, then your legs are moving and then the Bengkung Belly Binding wrap that will also get stretched. That won't help you too much. So why we start from the tailbone? Because when you give birth to a big child or any child, your hips, along with your abdominal muscles, your hips also increased in size. They created a space for the baby to come out. That's why we use this Bengkung Belly Binding wrap so that our hip muscles, hip bones, and the six-pack muscles, all of them come together to their original shape. You start from your tailbone and you come until your rib cage. Now you don't need to go on top of your rib cage because these bones were not so much increased in size. If you do that, then you won't be able to breathe so nicely. Let's start the process. You just take the one side like this. So this is like my arm length, and I doubled it, and then I put on my shoulder. In the video it may show you like I'm like split video, but it's on my right shoulder. I kept it there. Now before starting wrapping, make sure your stomach inside so that when you pull that, your abdominal muscles will go inside, and that way your six-pack muscles come a little bit closer to each other. So we want to capture that position in the Bengkung Belly Binding wrap, because ideally we want them to be together. That's why Bengkung Belly Binding wrap is non-stretchy, because if it is stretchy, your six-pack muscles, when you do heavy baby lifting or do other things, they're gonna stretch and be open that side. That's why we use this non-stretchy Bengkung Belly Binding wrap, which is so strong. While wrapping, we do this Agnisara Mudra. In a subtle level, we tell the body, please come to your original shape. All the muscles we tell, please, it's time to come to the original shape. I take the lower part and then wrap around myself under my rib cage. When I do that, every time I tighten it, I tighten my stomach as well. Now I'm spreading across properly so that I don't end up with bulky belly wrap. Now in some very viral YouTube videos regarding Bengkung Belly Binding wrap, we see that they cut the Bengkung Belly Binding wrap. But oh my goodness, please don't do that, because these are made of so much love and care, and you just want to keep it so nicely. Other than that, I'm starting not with the twists, but with this kind of protective layer so that those twists actually won't protrude in between your six-pack muscles. We don't want that. That's why we are putting this protective layer. I'm breathing and I'm correcting the backside and wrapping around. Initially, it took me like 20 minutes to wrap this, and then I was doing it in a different ways until I learned this very neat wrapping. In the hip area, I'm doing it several times because that time I faced a lot of pain here. That means my hip muscles and bones enlarged, shifted a lot. That's why I want to bring it back to its original shape. Now, when I did it several layers here, I tighten it and I came to the middle. Now, this part, I'm taking it and then I'll show you from the back side. You bring this all the way down. Some people do it like this, which is not so correct. You could do that, but it won't be proper. So you just bring it all the way down and bring it to the same level, two sides. Then you can do the knot. So this knot I'm gonna do double times so that this whole wrap doesn't get loosened throughout the day. Now the shorter side I'm putting on my shoulder. Now I'm putting on my right shoulder. Now the smaller part always twists and goes back to the same place. Whereas this one always goes like spiral, like this. Sometimes I used to do, before I learned the Bengkung Belly Binding wrap properly, I used to go halfway and then come back. Halfway and come back, and some of them go spiral. But actually, it should always go spiral like this. And this one just twists in the middle. Don't forget to breathe, pulling muscles inside. Okay, this part. Twisting, don't forget to breathe. Nowadays, it just takes me 2.5 minutes to wrap it. I just do it in the bathroom after I take bath in the morning. And some of you ask questions if you need the ones with sides serged or just raw without any stitches. I would obviously go with the serged ones because they're very neat and they don't disturb you while you are wrapping it. And if you have desire to buy our high quality Bengkung Belly Binding wraps, then I have a link in the description of this video. Go around. Some of you may ask question, do I do it on top of my cloth or not? It's still better to do it under your cloth. Twist it again, going back. Now I have left a smaller thing. Now some people just stuck it in, but if you do that without twist, all the things will get loosened up during the day. That's why just take it and wrap it, twist it double times so that it stays secure throughout the day. And put it inside. Now here, my full hand is not going inside. So that means I did it properly. I did it snug. At the same time, I can breathe, inhale and exhale. That's a proper way. If you do it too tight, then you won't be able to breathe and your life will be miserable. But if you do it so arm goes in out, then that means it won't work because you want the muscles to be together throughout the day. We have so many tutorials on our SageAbay YouTube channel. Please check out this.